All right. Now, the first component, which is vocabulary cloze, okay, you're supposed to select a word that best fits the context of the paragraph or the sentence. So a lot of times the words given to you, the options are quite close. The meanings are quite similar. Okay, but then again, you need to choose one that can fit in the context. Yeah. So the first one widely held theory, okay, about the purpose of dreams is that they help you store important memories and things you've learned and sort through complicated thoughts and feelings. So one widely held theory. So what's widely held? Anyone would like to try? Okay, I see someone typing in the chat. B, yes, okay. Broadly, right? Widely, of course, the opposite is narrowly, so it can't be this. I think it's quite easy to eliminate. Okay, so because those are opposite words, and you are supposed to find a word that best fits. Okay, so this one can be eliminated. Completely has slight difference with widely, because widely means that it's something that covers a broad spectrum. Okay, so in this case, yes, broadly is the best option here. Completely and totally are quite similar. So it's like all encompassing. When we talk about like something that's completely or totally, it basically covers all aspects. Okay, but when we're talking about broadly or widely, it means that we are covering most aspects, not all. Completely and totally would mean all. Okay, all encompassing. Yeah, so very well done. I think it was that Heidi answered the question. Yeah. Okay, now next one, purpose. Okay, purpose of dreams. So when we talk about purpose, a lot of times the point, the goal, the issue, I mean, issue doesn't really imply purpose, isn't it? Okay, someone typed in the chat too. Jeremy says C. Okay, point is somewhat similar to purpose. Any other words have similar meanings to purpose? Okay, I would think that goal is somewhat similar to purpose, but then you have to think about whether or not it's relevant, whether does it fit the context. Okay, so in this case, in terms of dreams, it's not, there's always a scale, right? The point, Priya says the point of a talk or something like that. Yeah. So what's the point? Okay, the point is, or the purpose is, yeah. So in this context, in terms of dreams, I would think that point would be more suitable than goal. Okay, issue and plan are somewhat a bit deviating from purpose. Because when we say something has an issue, it doesn't really tell us it's a purpose, right? This is the issue with this with over usage of handphone, for example. Okay, so this is the issue, so it's not quite similar to purpose. Okay, I think Charlotte is here. Let me just take your attendance first. Okay, right. Okay, so of course, then plan is not really purpose. When you plan for something, it's really setting some concrete step-by-step kind of plan. Okay, so it's not really purpose. So it's either goal or point. So which one should you choose? You should choose the one that's, best describing dreams. So in terms of dreams, we don't really say there's a goal to a dream, because dreams are something that we can't really control. Okay, so maybe something on the scale of just a point. What's the point? What's the point of dreams? Yeah, instead of what's the goal of dreams. Okay, when you have a purpose means you have a goal. But then again, it's not so intense here. So you have to look at the spectrum as well. Okay, Irina. Is that Irina? I don't have an Irina in my class. Can I just check with you what's your name? Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, I have it. Irina is your mom's name, right, Sophia? Okay, let me just take your attendance. All right. Okay, now let's go back to question 3 of your vocabulary cloze. Okay, research shows that sleep helps store memories. If you learn new information and sleep on it, you'll be able to recall it better than if asked to remember that information without the assistance of sleep. So you'll be able to recall it better. Okay, so when we talk about recalling, okay, someone typed in the chat as well. Most of you said D. Adira says D. Itong also says D. Yes. Okay. So to recall is like a recollection. It's basically to remember. Okay. Sometimes another meaning of recall could mean like to take back something. Like for example, if a particular product has been tested with some toxic substances, so they have to do a recall of the products. Okay, but of course, in this context, the recall, this word recall actually means to remember, right? When you recall something, you remember something. It's not to reproduce, it's not to apply, it's definitely also not to reuse. Okay, to recall something is to remember something better than if asked to remember that information. Okay. Okay, recall it better than if asked to remember that information without the assistance of sleep. Assistance. Okay, which word has close meaning? Adira says B. Anyone else? No? Yeah, I think this one is quite straightforward because from the word assistance, you know that, Irena says B as well. Okay, Itong B. Right. Salman says B as well. Yes, the answer is B. Okay, because assistance is just quite straightforward. It means to help. When you assist someone, is to help someone. It's got nothing to do with knowledge. Okay, without the knowledge of sleep. No, it's not similar. Okay, advice, no, and teachings. Advice and teachings can mean can have quite similar meanings, right? When you advise someone, you're giving someone a teaching, but of course the skill is different. Yeah. Okay, last paragraph. Dreams that help you deal productively with emotions, memories, and other information may seem very helpful. In contrast, the occasional nightmare is considered to be much more frightening or upsetting. Nightmares tend to be caused by stress, anxiety, and sometimes as a reaction to certain medications. Okay, so productive, to be productive means that you are very on task and you've achieved a lot. Okay, being productive, right? So productively with the ly, it's actually an adverb. So how do you deal with something? You deal with it productively. Okay, so which word? Oh, I see a lot of messages. Let me see. Constructively, I made an intelligent guess. I was lucky. That's great. Google Assistant. Someone said, you use Google Assistant to get you your answer, is it? Yeah, the answer is D. Very good. Okay, to be constructive, to be productive, quite similar meaning. Okay, practicality or practically means you're just being very practical, very matter of factly, right? When we say you're practical, means you're a matter of factly person. Actually, is not quite similar to the meaning and fully as well. Okay, so the best will be constructively. Okay, so sometimes your teachers give you constructive feedback, right? You would prefer to get a constructive feedback, right? Meaning is something that will help you improve. It's something that is not so personal. Okay, something that is like, from a very objective standpoint. Okay, to be constructive. Okay, so the best one would be constructively. All right, so we are done with your vocabulary cloze MCQs. Any questions? No. For PSLE English, there will be 5 questions as well. So this is actually the same format as PSLE vocabulary cloze. right? The key thing is that if you replace the word with your chosen answer, does it really fit the context? Then, of course, in terms of vocabulary, I think at this point in time, you only have about 3 months left around there, less than 3 months to your PSLE, right? So vocabulary is something that you really have to build on. Yeah. So maybe you might just want to deliberately do more readings, and sometimes there are a lot of vocabulary lists and charts which you can read. Okay, it might help if you read like synonyms to find out like similar words, similar meanings. Okay, so it might help in this component. Yeah. So these are the answers. We're going to move on to the next section, which is your grammar cloze. Okay, grammar cloze are usually found in your section B of your paper 2. Okay, and there are usually 10 questions, right? I would think that students generally do quite okay for grammar cloze. Okay, now one thing to remind, I know your teacher must have reminded you multiple times, always write the letters. If you don't write the letters and you spell out the word, you will not get it correct. Yeah. So by now, I think you shouldn't be making the mistake. Okay, write the letters. If you want to spell the word out, by all means, but you need to make sure you write the letters because they mark the letters. Okay. All right. Now use each word only once. Write its letter. Example A in the black. Okay. So pirates are criminals who attack ships at sea. The most famous pirates sailed the seas from the late 1500s to the early 1800s. Okay. A common symbol of piracy, what? The Jolly Roger. A black flag, what? A white skull and crossbones. Okay. Any. Oh, Priya says was and with. Yeah. Okay. A common symbol of piracy was. Because sometimes, okay, in terms of grammar cloze, you can identify certain patterns in terms of sentence structure. So the is actually an article. Jolly Roger, of course, is a person's name. It's actually a proper noun. Okay, so all together, an article plus a noun is actually what we call a noun phrase. Yeah, so we have a common symbol of piracy was usually, see, is an article, common symbol, okay, this one is actually the subject of the sentence. So generally, English sentences are in the form of subject, verb, object. So if this is the subject, this is the object, there must be a verb in the middle. Okay, so in this case, the verb would be was because it's singular, right? It can't be were. Okay, and don't forget, you see, I almost forgot to write the letter. You must make sure you write the letter. Okay, so F was the Jolly Roger, a black flag, what? A white skull and crossbones. So this is basically a noun phrase and another noun phrase. So you can use the conjunction and. And don't forget to put the letter again. Okay, so it will be no, sorry, a black flag with. This one is D, with. Because it's a symbol. It's a symbol. So usually when we describe symbol, it's like this one with this. Okay, this one comes with this, yeah? So was and with, yeah? Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Many of the ideas that people have, what pirates, have come from books and movies. Let's just cancel out those we've chosen first. These two, okay? Many of the ideas have for, someone said for, about, it makes sense, yeah. Okay, yes. Because when we talk about ideas, it's always what's the ideas that people have about pirates. Okay, have about pirates.